Hey loves, so I wanted to make a video because it's been a very long time since I made my last one, and I'm sorry. Clearly this is a very bad habit that I need to break, but I just want to give you guys an update of what's going on. So as you guys know, I passed my boards on July 6th. I received my actual license in the mail about a week later, and then I decided to apply for another local state for a license for there as well, because I'm only about 15-20 minutes to that state. So I figured, I'll cover all my bases and maybe it'll make it easier for me to get a job. So as you guys know, I love the ICU and I wanted a position in the ICU so bad. And I kept in touch with the nurse manager and all the nurses, and a position opened and I applied for it, and I waited and waited and waited and nothing. The position was actually filled by an internal candidate, and unfortunately I did not get the position. So I was really upset, but I was just like, you know what, that's fine. Let's just keep trying to apply. I applied for so many positions. I'm telling you, I probably put in maybe 10 to 15 applications every day for about, I would say, three weeks, and I was starting to get discouraged because I'm like, why am I not getting any interviews? Like, what's going on? So I changed my resume around, I changed my cover letters, I had my friends look at my stuff, changed the format. I did everything. I met with my dean to go over interview questions, to have her look over my cover letter and my resume, just so that I could figure out what it is I was doing wrong. Because like I've said to you guys previously in my videos, if something is not working for you, you need to figure out what is the problem and quickly fix it. You don't want to continue doing the wrong thing. So nothing. I wasn't getting any interviews with any of the hospitals that I wanted to try, and mainly because I have an RN and not a BSN, and a lot of jobs in my area require a BSN. So after the graduation, my friend and I actually enrolled right into a BSN program that actually starts up for me next week. And so I was thinking, I'm like, okay, well, now that they can see that I'm enrolled and the my classes are getting ready to start, maybe that'll be a better maybe it'll be what I need to get in. Still nothing. I had a few friends that started to get jobs within the hospital, and a few of them got it because they already had positions in the hospital as like a tech, an aide, or whatever. And then my one friend who wasn't in the hospital, she was just an amazing interviewer and had an amazing resume, got into the position that she wanted. So I was like a little discouraged because I'm like, what is it that I'm doing wrong? Why am I not getting called in? I have healthcare experience. Everyone says my resume is great. I have great recommendation letters from doctors, nurses, managers, everything. So I started to apply to positions outside of the hospital. So I would just put into Indeed.com, Monster, Career Builder. I put up my resumes, and then I put in RN positions. And honestly, I was just open to whatever it is was posted. So I started putting in a bunch of applications for that. And I also kept in touch with one of my teachers, and she also let me know of a few positions that were opening up. So I emailed her my resume as well, and then she sent it off to a few people. So from that, I would say about 2 weeks ago, I got my first call. Was actually with a drug detox place, and I had to do a video interview. So you guys would think that because I do these YouTube videos that it would be really easy for me to do a video interview. It was so weird. I had to look at it through my phone. The picture that you actually see on the phone wasn't actually what they were seeing. I was thinking that they were only seeing just my face, but when you actually watch the video afterwards, they could see like your full body. So I had to make sure that I wasn't like, doing any weird hand motions below the camera. I wanted to make sure that I looked nice, but I wasn't like dressed for an interview because, it was just like a video interview. So I just put on a nice blazer and a nice top and then did the video interview, and heard back from them, and they wanted to set up an interview. I wasn't thinking that was exactly what I wanted to go into, because I always had my mind on ICU. I wanted to be in the hospital, but I was like, you know what? If I'm not getting in the hospital, then I need to find out, or I need to do something else and like not get my mind stuck on it. So I had that interview set up. Then I got called from a world-renowned organization that does everything in the United States, outside of the United States. They respond to natural disasters and everything. So I got a call from them, and then I had an interview with them. So I'm like, good, like, you know, things are starting to really look great. And in 1 week I had 4 interviews. I had 1 interview on Wednesday, and then I had 3 interviews on a Thursday. The other interviews was were with, one was a correctional facility, and then another one was at an urgent care facility. So I had the drug detox place, the world-renowned organization, the correction facility, and an urgent care. So my interviews went great. And I would really say, if you have any kind of feelings towards how you interview and how you come off to people, I would say meet with your instructor or whoever and make sure you really get a game plan down. Record yourself to see how you appear, figure out how you're going to wear your hair, figure out what clothes you're going to wear, have a suit and everything in order beforehand. And, you know, make sure that you are able to present yourself well. And if you don't know how you look, record yourself so you know. So my interviews went great, and within a day I heard back from all of the interviews, and I was accepted, offered a position at every single one of them, which was a great feeling, because I was like, for so long I was really starting to feel down on myself. I'm like, I'm not getting the interviews that I want. And actually one of the interviews that I did, which was for a staff nurse position, they actually asked me to come back and interview for a higher position as a supervisor. So that was the following week, and which actually happened to be last week. So I went in for that position, and I interviewed, and the interview went great. It was harder questions, and I wasn't sure if I was going to get that position, but also I wasn't sure if I really wanted that position, because I felt that it kind of took a step away from nursing. And although it'd be great to be a supervisor and have like a managerial role and have a team underneath me, it wasn't what I was aspiring to do right out of nursing school. I really wanted to get all of, you know, I wanted to get that nurse feeling. I wanted to take care of patients. I wanted to learn things. I wanted to see everything. So after I was offered that position, I think it was later that day, I actually heard from the urgent care facility, and they offered me the position, and this is the position that I really, really wanted. This place happens to be less than a mile away from my house right now. So I'm going from doing like an hour commute to doing a 3-minute commute. So already right there, that was big. Allow me to do my staff, my nurse roles. I have patients I'm going to take care of. I get to see things. So it's how they explained it. It's the next step after going to your family practice, but before like an ER. So it's like that intermediate. So you get broken bones, you get sprains, you get cuts, stuff like that, but you're not getting like the emergencies like that would go to an ER. So I feel like it is great for me, because it will allow me to focus on my BSN while I'm going to school, because I'm doing that all online, but also still learn a lot of my nursing skills. So I accepted that position. Actually, officially yesterday, I accepted that position, and I put in my 2 weeks notice, and I will be starting very soon, and I'm very, very, very excited. So I wanted to let you guys know that. Yeah, things felt like they took a really long time, but once I actually started to pick up, everything happened really quickly. So I wanted to give you guys that update and let you guys know how I'm doing, and I'm very excited to start. I will try to make a video about how it is as a new nurse. Well, I will definitely make a video of a new nurse. I just don't know when it will actually be posted. But a few things that I wanted to touch on that I feel that helped me. One, I had a nursing portfolio. So a nursing portfolio. I actually looked on YouTube for a few people to see who put down who made a nursing portfolio. I looked at Hey Rona's video, and I thought it was great, so I made my own nursing portfolio. I got my actual portfolio from I think it's Office Depot, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. And it was, I think, like $12, so it was pretty cheap. And this is very simple, and it's black. What I have on my first page is actually my resume, so you guys can see that. I have my cover letter next, my license, I have references, my ACLS, BLS, and a certificate that I had to complete. My certificates from school, which is like, one was a trauma seminar, another one was my actual degree, letters of recommendation, my transcripts, and then this right here is actually what I did for my capstone completion. Each day we had to write a goal, then we had to say how we met the goal, and then the nurse actually gives us a review, what she thinks, how our day went, and any advice or anything that she may have for us. So get a portfolio, buy the protector sheets, and keep your stuff in there. So while you're going through school, anytime you have to do a CEU, put that inside of your portfolio. Anytime you get a certificate, put that inside of your portfolio. As you make resumes and your cover letters, do all that while you're in school so that you can have your teachers actually look at it and you can build upon it as you go. Because I would say one thing that I had a little bit of a hard time with, it was finding all my certificates and my paperwork and everything that I've completed, because I didn't keep everything in like in one central area. So I had to like look here and then I was looking there. So put all that stuff together from the get-go. I would say that's one tip that would definitely help. Another tip as far as interviewing is, if they ask you a question where it's a negative question, make sure you spin it around to be in a positive. So for instance, I was asked what is one of my weaknesses when starting a new job. Or actually no, my question was, name a time that I had a weakness and how did I deal with it. So I referred to a time when I first started my new position with my job, when I cross-trained into a new position, that it was a lot of stuff for me to memorize, and I wanted to be efficient and I wanted to be effective from day one, which was hard to do because I had about 20 surgeons that I had to know their preferences, and I had, I don't know, maybe 25 different surgical cases to know. So what I actually did is I created an app to make it easier for me to remember everything. And I can't tell you how many times when I've spoken to the interviewers that I told them that I created an app, how many times they were just like in pure shock. So when they see someone that takes initiative and you're able to actually turn a weakness into a positive, I feel like these are things that really help. So if anyone gives you any kind of question that you feel like is a negative, make sure you figure out a way to make it into a positive. So if they say, what is your weakness? And you say like, okay, I'm a new nurse, I don't know everything, but you turn it into a positive by saying that I have a lot to learn, that I don't feel intimidated by asking for help. Because I would say that's the biggest thing, is that in nursing, they don't want anyone to feel like they know it all. They want you to be comfortable asking for help. So just figure out how to spin it to make it work for you. Another thing I would say is no gum, no mints, nothing in your mouth. Leave your cell phone in the car. Bring a pen with you and a notepad. I did that for every single interview. I also came up with questions to ask before the interview, and I would say that is also a very important thing. Going through interview things with my dean, she said you never leave an interview without asking a question. So some of the questions I would ask I would research the company, and then I would see something on there that maybe I was a little bit unsure of. But I would say my top question that I really like to ask is, what is a priority that you need me to learn over the next 3 months? I want to gauge what they think is very important for me to learn, so I know what I need to focus on as soon as I start working. Another question that I liked is, what are you looking for in an ideal candidate? So you can get an idea of who generally fills this position, and you know what it is that you need to improve, or if you already have those qualifications. Another one is, what are the biggest challenges that you will face in this role? I think that is a great question, because it gives you an idea of where things may possibly need improvement within the company, and to figure out if this is something that you're gonna be able to handle. I had a lot of jobs tell me off of the bat that, you know, this job can be very stressful, it requires a lot of time, you may not have the work-life balance that you like, and you get to figure out if this is something that you really want to do and this is something you can handle. So I would say definitely ask those questions. And then follow up with a thank you email at the end of every interview. It is absolutely essential that you do that. And make sure you get the business cards also, so that you can actually send off the email. And I would say that's about it.